Welcome back to another episode of the Morning Method. I'm Matthew Anthony,
My name is Remy Freyo.
and thanks for waking up with us in the morning.
Good morning.
So we got a couple of tunes, a couple of vibes to curate for you this morning. Remy has been up all night, all day, curating these vibes. So what are we starting off with, young Remington Frainton?
He just made all that up. But I have been listening to some new music. I'm excited to share it with you guys. I feel like I found a new pocket. So my main genre that I always listen to is soul and R&B. Right now I'm in like an up-tempo space, so it's like almost borderline pop. But yeah, we could jump right into it. This first song is called Untitled. It's by an artist named Blasian, spelled with the X. And it's just something I stumbled upon. That was Untitled by Blasian. What you think?
I
Yeah.
like that.
One more?
I like that a lot.
I think we could do one more.
Yeah, one more.
All right.
Hold on. Okay.
That one right there. So this next one's called Do What I Say by KWN.
Quan?
I have no idea how to pronounce their name, but I think they have relations with Kalani. Yes. Yeah. I don't know exactly what, but they've done a song together. Had a lot of chemistry on screen. So this is Do What I Say by KWN. Oh, does it say how to pronounce it right there on credits? Oh yeah, it does. Pronounced K-Yun. K1. K1.
You see that?
Huh?
This?
Yeah. No, up. Up.
Oh, pronounced K1. Mm-hmm.
And that was Do What I Say by K1.
All right, all right. I fuck with that heavy.
I feel like that first
fuck with
record
that
was a good
heavy.
morning record. This record's a good evening, like late night drive record.
All right, so stay in the moments of music, in the thread of music. I got a couple of records. I got two. I got two for you.
All right.
So I've been reeling in like funk, old school mood for the summer.
This is an old song, right?
Nah, this is new. This
Click
is
on
my nigga named Jameson.
Jameson, yep.
And I think he's from Detroit, a new artist from Detroit. Oh yeah, I guess I was saying not like the 70s.
Oh yeah.
This is not the
okay,
70s.
okay,
This is
okay.
not the 80s. This is not a new song.
It's that old mixed with that new.
All right. That was Inferno by Jameson. We got one more for you. This is another album from 2018. Elise was Swing My Way.
It's a pretty cool cover art.
This is one thing that I like to do I aim to do is to find smaller artists that people are not listening to. And when I found this dude, he had only 2,000 monthly listeners, and probably one of the best albums that I've heard. Top 20 albums I listened to all the way through. So at least Swing My Way.
Like top 20 albums of all time?
Like my favorite album.
Of all time?
Probably.
Oh, wow.
Like it's like one of those albums I can just like listen to like straight through. There's not a lot of albums I can say that I can listen to straight through.
Hmm.
And that's him. That's him. That's him on the keys.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like, is there a genre called easy listening?
Yeah, I believe so.
Like easy listening.
So that was Elise, Swing My Way, and I would say that that's one of my top albums, top 20 albums. I can't say this in necessarily my top 10. I don't know what's in my top 10 right now, but if I were to be stranded on a desert island, on an island, not a desert island, a deserted island. If I was stuck on this deserted island and I could only pick 3 albums, it would be, what's the album? What's this called?
You don't know what the album's called, but you know you gotta have it.
Yeah, nah, I know I
got
got it. The Foothill. Foot of the Hill.
Okay.
By Elise. I would say I could survive with Channel Orange. Mm-hmm. And even though it might be controversial, I would say College Dropout.
Why would that become controversial?
I mean, Kanye is controversial, not the album himself.
Oh,
People would be trying
People
to be
love
like,
the album.
but that would be that's one of the greatest. That's in my top 10 albums of all time. If I had those 3 albums, I feel like I'll be straight. I'll be straight on listening to that for a good minute. What would be your 3 Desert Island albums that you would have to? You feel like you'd be straight. Maybe not even your favorite, but
Just
you'd be like
the ones I would pick. If I could only listen to them.
I'll be good with listening to this for a little bit.
I want to say Acid Rap.
Okay.
It's probably one of them. I want to say entire album. And I'm on a deserted island, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you want some island vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you're gonna be on the island. You're gonna be good weather. You're gonna have to forage for. You're gonna have to. You're by yourself. The weather is fine. You're just going to be in the water on the beach, looking for food. What would you want to listen to while you're doing that?
Okay, so I'm gonna do as a rap. You know, I'd probably pick the first album I ever listened to,
Which album was that?
8701 by Usher. First album I listened to all the way through. My sister
That's a
had
good
the
album.
CD, and I stole the CD from her, and I
Which
brought it to school.
Is
with
that
a
the
CD
one
player.
with Does that have? That's not Little Burn.
This is old Usher. This is before.
Okay.
It's before all that. I don't even think I can't think of what the lead single was. Let me look it up. You Got It Bad is probably the lead single.
No, you remind
You Don't Have
me.
to Call.
You don't have. Yeah, You Got It Bad.
Yeah, those three. Probably the lead singles.
You don't have to call.
I think there's just so much nostalgia in that album for me because I was listening to it on repeat as a Kush and Orange Juice.
That would be a great one.
Kush and Orange Juice would be my third. Hopefully I got some pack on this island. If I don't got no pack. Do I have pack? Because if I don't have pack, then maybe I wouldn't want to listen to this and not have pack. That would just make me upset.
I mean, it's the deserted island. Unless you can figure out how to grow some pack. Yeah, I don't know where you get pack for this. There's no man's on the corner.
I mean, maybe I got deserted with it. Maybe it was already with me, and I took the seeds and I cultivated.
Okay, so if you could pick 5 items that you would,
that's a good question.
you would be deserted with, what 5 items would you want to be deserted with?
5
And you can
items.
name, if it's an amount, you can name any amount besides like infinity or tons or whatever. Like, let's say, you can bring an ounce of anything that you want.
Just an ounce. Damn, an ounce. You gonna go through an ounce of pack so quick?
I know.
An ounce of marijuana seeds.
But then, how long do you plan to be stranded for?
I mean, that'll last me a long time because then you could just use the seeds from the plants to keep it growing.
Yeah, but I mean, that you'd have to ultimately cultivate those seeds, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But what if you get rescued before the seeds cultivated?
I still got an ounce of seeds to take back
That
to the
is true.
States with me.
That is true.
What you mean? You could bring that with you anyway.
How long? Well, okay, so let's not even get into what you call it, growing shit.
Mm-hmm.
So would you bring an ounce of seeds?
An ounce of seeds.
Okay. What's the second thing?
Haha. Well, anything technological would be dumb.
Because
Once
unless you
it runs out of
got a battery bank, then
But then even that's gonna run out of charge eventually. So, solar panels.
okay, you bring some solar panels.
Mm-hmm.
But then you would have to bring everything that the solar panels came with. So you'd have to bring solar panels, so it should be one thing. So you're down to 2. You're down to 3 more left.
Mm-hmm.
So solar panels, and then a battery bank that the solar panels can, a generator. What just hooks up to the solar panel so you can plug in whatever. Because you have to have a battery
I don't know
bank.
the technology, but I know that they store energy. So once the solar panels store
just-
energy from the sun, I'll
Well,
just
I guess
figure
at the
out
end
how
of the
to-
day, you'd want something that could store energy from the sun and you can plug into all in one.
Exactly, all in one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
All right.
And those exist.
Yeah, those exist.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's not necessarily solar panels, but that is neither here nor there. so solar panels, ounce of seeds, solar panels.
Yep. Okay. I would bring my laptop.
Okay, so you can play Smite.
Well, I'm not gonna have no internet. Go on. I would if I had internet.
Imagine you can play Smite.
and I would if I had internet. But
the fourth thing would be internet connection.
we can't bring internet to
The third thing, fifth thing would be it's like no. Go ahead. Okay, so you bring your laptop. So ounce of seeds, solar panels, your laptop. Fourth thing.
See, if I had my laptop, I could make beats. You know what I'm saying? There's things you could do without internet. There's games that don't require internet connection. I have some forms of entertainment. My laptop has a bunch of movies on it. You know what I'm saying? I'd be good with a laptop that I can connect.
So
to.
mind you wouldn't want any survival tools.
I've only said three things, and solar
I'm
panels.
just saying.
Solar panels and seeds are survival tools.
You can't. But these are not even food bearing seed. Oh, what the fuck?
I'm a hunter.
Okay. Because you can eat whatever is on the
Whatever's on the island. Yeah. The islands I've been to have tons of fruit trees.
You wouldn't want anything to build. Well, you have two more.
I can build a fire from scratch.
Yeah, I forgot who I'm talking to.
You know we were in Pathfinders.
Yeah, I forgot you're a friend.
I got the fire maker badge.
Okay. Word.
Come on.
Okay, so two more things. So we have an ounce of seeds, solar panels, laptop. What's your last two?
Glock 4.5.
A Glock 4.5. Okay, the last thing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's for hunting.
You wouldn't want a bow and arrow?
Hell no.
That would be able to be way more sustainable because once you run out of bullets, you can make more arrows. You can just.
This nigga thinks he's gonna be sitting there carving arrows.
Yeah, I mean, what else do you do? You're on a deserted island.
He got to bring stuff to make a fire, but thinks that he's gonna be carving arrows.
That makes way more sense.
How?
Because there's gonna be sticks on the island.
Yeah, you can make a fire with just sticks.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's way harder to make a fire on a consistent basis than to make a couple of arrows to hunt with.
Your arrows ain't killing shit.
Okay. What's your last thing? Because this man, it sounds like he's gonna have a rough time on this.
No, I'm gonna be cool, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
I got my music. I got power. We chilling. I don't know what these niggas doing over here, but we chilling. Like,
okay. So your last thing.
My last thing is a helicopter to get off the island.
That's good. That was a good one. That's funny. That's not even. Okay. What? No, if you couldn't get off the island, what would be your last thing? You can't just get off the island. You're stranded. Oh, that's okay. I will bring a boat.
A companion.
That's not bad. That's not a bad. That's a great. I didn't even think about companion. I'm talking about like a human companion or like.
I mean, well, it could be a dog. It could
dog.
be. But I'd probably
bring Midnight.
I'd bring Midnight. Yeah. No,
well, that's not. Whether it's a dog or a human. whatever the rules of a companion would be. Okay, so quick, what would be mine? My 5 items. I would bring.
This nigga had it all figured out.
I would bring a lot of tarps to like insulate myself from like the elements. I bring tarp. I would want a knife, like a nice hunting knife. I'm assuming that the 3 albums, well, I can listen to them some way
How?
because I'm on. Those are your 3 deserted albums.
They're not just playing out of thin air. You need something to play them on.
Fuck. I would bring the solar panel charger. I would want that. So what I said, tarp,
A knife,
a knife,
and some solar panels.
solar panels. I would also like the seeds. The ounce of
It
seeds.
was shitting on my list, and now he's stealing on my items.
Just 2 items. That
You
makes
still don't
sense.
have anything to play your music on. You gonna play them off the solar panels? Or you're gonna hear them in your head when you're high?
I'll probably bring.
He's talking about I ain't have no food. You don't have no food, nigga.
No, you said that we're gonna get food from the from the island will provide. What would be my last thing? I'm about to get off the island. No, but let's see.
Threw a knife and tarps in there and thought he was so genius.
Nah, I'm trying to pick between companion, cause I'm gonna be dry. Your shit's gonna fry as soon as it rains. As soon as it rains,
Who shit gonna fry? What's gonna fry?
the computer.
No, it's not.
It's gonna get wet. You're gonna cover yourself up with a whole bunch of leaves?
But you can build a tent
Out of what?
out of sticks, out of leaves, or like shrubs. Like they're like huge leaves, shrubs.
I just don't believe you live in your shelter. I don't believe you.
Or I could build a sand dome.
Okay.
It's an island.
All right, Gara from the Sand Village.
Yeah. I'll build a sand dome.
I would bring
Your little tarp's gonna fly away as soon as it's hurricane season. As soon as it's hurricane season, you're done.
So you think that you with no tarps and your sand has a better chance?
Yeah, my sand is rock hard,
Okay, yeah.
built to withstand. Your little tarps.
It's not even gonna.
Doing all that.
It's not even gonna take hurricane season. As soon as it rains, that shit's coming down.
Nah.
That shit's coming down.
Fake news.
As soon as it
Fake
turns
news.
at night and
Fake-
the high tide
fake-
comes,
Fake
this
news.
nigga's computer's gonna be soaked. She's like, no, I was about to play Smite.
Fake news.
But I would think the last thing I would probably bring would be a companion.
Bro, you got solar panels and nothing to plug into them.
Okay, then
what is
I
this?
would change the solar panels to a bow and arrow.
So a knife, a bow and arrow, some tarps, a companion, and seeds.
Yeah.
I feel like the one really good thing you said was the knife. I didn't think about that. A knife would be crucial, but I wouldn't even bring a knife. I'd bring like an axe. Give me an axe.
Well, you already used your 5 items.
Well,
can't go back. This nigga.
you already used your 5 items. You can't trade the solar panels for the
Well, I would make an axe with the solar panel.
axe with the solar panels.
It has metal in it. I'll take it apart.
Yeah, I'm gonna build a sand dome with sand and
This
sticks.
nigga thinks he's a crab. All right. So what for our first news item? Do you want to do DDG and Haley, or do you want to do Trumpito?
Oh, those are both heavy, but look, I mean, either one.
Okay, so the country. I feel like has been predicted. We always knew that the Elon Musk and Trump. At least I predicted. I always thought that the Elon Musk and Trump relationship is going to go very interestingly at the very least. At the very worst, it was just going to go completely south. But it was never going to be just nothing. It was just never going to be just normal. So what we're dealing with is the fact that Donald Trump and Elon Musk have been trading blows back and forth because Elon Musk spoke out against Donald Trump's tax bill. He stated that it was what was the exact word?
It was gonna increase the deficit.
It was going to increase the deficit. He threw a lot of disparaging remarks on the tax bill. Musk accused Trump of fuck. Do you know what he said about the tax bill? Or do you have a quote about the tax bill?
I don't have a quote, but I know that he said it's going to increase the deficit. The main thing, he was trying to get the Congress to step in to block it and all that stuff. He was just trying to. He was just talking about why it would be negative for the economy, the American people, all that good stuff.
So, do you have any? Do you know? Go more on that. Go more on what Musk thinks about, or do you have any more to go on about what Musk thinks on the tax bill?
So I didn't watch the beef play out entirely. I was trading yesterday, and I saw some people call out puts on Tesla, and at the same time, I was like, "Oh, okay, Elon's speaking out against the tax bill." I didn't take those puts. I should have took those puts. Some people are up like 5,000%, turning $10,000 into $5 million in one day. I didn't take the puts. But yeah, he was just speaking out against it. He was basically saying that it would increase the deficit by a lot. I think it was like don't quote me, but I think it was like $4 trillion over the course of like, I don't know. I'm not going to give statistics because I don't have them. But yeah, and then also they just kind of started going back and forth. So Trump started saying that he's losing his patience with Elon. And Elon said that Trump couldn't have won the election without him, and that the Republicans wouldn't have leadership the way that they do in the Senate and the House without him. And then Trump basically said that he's gonna pull back all of the leniences that he's giving Elon's companies in the form of what are they? Tax cuts and I forgot the terms, but it's essentially the government is giving Elon's company, specifically with electric vehicles, breaks because they're environmentally friendly, right? So they just kept going back and forth, and then Elon said that Trump was in the Epstein files.
Yeah,
which I mean people knew, but
so they'll be going back and forth on. I know that Elon has been using X to disparage Trump, and Trump has been on, I think, Truth Social is what it's called, lobbing insults at. Not lobbing insults, but saying how disappointed he is in Elon Musk and how he's not supporting the tax bill. And that's when Elon Musk came out saying, well, Trump is on the Epstein files. And that made, what did he say? He went to suggest that Musk was upset about the removal of the subsidies and maintenance on his electric vehicles. So that's why he was just saying that this is all everything that Elon Musk is saying is based on the fact that he pulled the support, which is the main reason I was saying that it's
not true.
So what's the truth?
He didn't pull support.
Not pull support. He said that he cut. Did you say he cut a lot of the whatchamacallit?
He's threatening to cut it. I don't think that.
He don't think he's cut it. He
I don't
doesn't
think
cut
he's
it yet.
I think that he's trying to take credit for something that he hasn't done yet. As like this is why this is all happening. That's not why it's happening.
So,
Elon's just very vocal. Like I don't think that Elon is the type to be bullied into having an opinion.
no.
You know what I'm saying? Like his opinions are his opinions, and he's gonna speak his. You're the richest man in the world. If you can't say what's on your mind at that point, then what the hell? What the hell?
And
What the hell,
at
Beyonce?
the end of the day, it's just like what are you gonna do? At the end of the day, I can go back to wherever I can go to back to South Africa, and it's not like you could kick me out of the United States. Like
There's nothing that Trump can do.
There's nothing that Trump can do. He's literally the richest man. So this is literally you're seeing what is conceived power, which is perceived power as the president, which also Trump is a very rich man, but then also what money can buy, the power that money can buy as the richest man in the world. So there's two huge entities going against head to head that we've never ever seen something like this before so publicly.
Yeah, that's facts.
So that's like it's a very interesting battle where it's just like, which one do you think is more powerful? The person that has all the money in the world, or the person that has a whole country at its disposal?
Not just any country.
Not the biggest, the quote unquote strongest country in the world, the United States of America.
I think that's extremely difficult to evaluate. I don't think the money in and of itself is going to override the power that comes with the United States. But I think the money, when leveraged intelligently, can definitely, because you gotta think, Elon's probably like, what is the GDP of America? Like Elon probably, I think Elon's worth like what, 300 billion. GDP of America, I'm assuming, is probably trillions. Like
The
1.8
GDP
trillion.
of America is 28.4 trillion.
28.4 trillion. Okay, that's way higher than Elon's net worth. Okay. I don't know. I think it's an interesting dynamic to see play out.
But at the same time, it's very hard to affect Elon. We can't necessarily affect his money without directly affecting America.
No, they affected his money yesterday.
I mean, it's not what I'm saying.
It was the biggest loss in his net worth that's ever happened in one day.
How much did he lose?
150. It was company lost 150. I think $8 billion of its valuation.
Because of the threats.
Right. The stock. Everyone sold off the stock.
Fuck.
So that can directly affect his net worth. He doesn't have $300 billion in cash in the bank account.
For sure. It's all assets.
It's all assets. So if they affect the evaluation of the assets, he's no longer worth that amount. And he lost a substantial amount yesterday.
Yeah. Damn.
I think the stock price went down like 15% yesterday.
Damn.
That's huge.
I know.
And Tesla's been volatile for a minute. Like, it was just at this price it was yesterday, a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it has never seen these prices before. But, I mean, yeah.
This is what I mean when I think that it's a bad precedent.
It's a dangerous precedent.
Yeah, because it's just like, this is what Trump does. Anytime that he feels like somebody is going against him, he's got to directly pick you out to kind of make everybody that is thinking about going against him stay in line.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's 100% true. I think trying to prevent someone from using their free speech is un-American. You know what I'm saying? And I think Trump doesn't know how to have people who disagree with him around him, which I think is a dangerous precedence.
This is definitely is a dangerous precedent to set, but it's interesting because it's like everybody knew this, and everybody like this is something that was very apparent from before that he was even elected. But how do you feel like this is going to affect like the American government going forward? Like, don't you, or do you think that not being able to criticize or speak out against what like the president is doing is going to ultimately weaken the government as it is, like as it
It's
is?
not about not being able to. It's about the repercussions.
Repercussions, yeah, the repercussions. There's always going to be so is this. It's going to be harder for progress or anything to be done for people that are not a part of the group, which is not necessarily all America is part of the group. So it's just like the inability to speak out or criticize or say anything against what Trump is doing is ultimately going to weaken America in general. Because not only is there going to be way more division, because the president is supporting division amongst Americans. That like either you're on his team or he's coming after you. If you speak out, he's coming after you. You don't do what he says, he's going to come after you, which is then ultimately going to provide a culture of yes men in the government. Everybody's going to have damn near a hive mind. That's like if you speak out, then you're going to get punished. The nail that sticks out gets hammered. It creates.
I don't have a whole lot of opinions. I've just been like super non-political lately. But what I will say is that I don't think the American government has really ever worked. I don't think it's ever worked.
No, I mean, it probably never necessarily worked optimally, but it's just like in terms of standing against, like, at least providing a united front against other, like, countries. Like, I don't think that any country's government works perfectly, but it's just like, at least you try not to look weak in front of other countries.
You think we look weak right now?
Yeah. Like any country that like has a whole bunch of arguing like that you can see like outwardly.
Well, that's been America since day one. That's what democracy is. It's literally a two-party system.
There's a difference
by default creates argument.
There's a difference between like democracy and debate and like go like a political system or like you're supposed to have discourse. That's I feel like more so healthy when you can have discourse. Whether like within the last couple of years we've been unable to have discourse. I feel like the America that was supposed to be set up, I'm not going to say that is for everybody. Like, we know who America is set up for.
Right.
But the original, like, we were supposed to be able to come together, discuss whatever the thing is, have different opinions.
And what's making you say we haven't been able to do that?
I feel like the trajectory that Trump is going is kind of breaking down that idea that discourse is a good thing. It's more so now just fighting. It's like discourse is this punishment. There's no talking. It's my way or the highway, or you're getting punished directly. Any country that, or it's like, or even just like out. It's not because it's Elon saying that Trump is on the Epstein files is more so just like name. It's damn near embarrassing. It's just embarrassing that your president is going back and forth having like a schoolgirl spat in public. Like, this is supposed to be something that is supposed to be like discussed behind the scenes. This is supposed to be discussed in a.
Yeah, but I never liked that.
How come?
Because when things happen behind the scenes and the American people don't know I don't like not knowing what's happening. And I feel like
I'm not
historically that's been the government. The government just does whatever it does. It's like this shadow it's like the shadow world within the United States that nobody knows what's happening.
I'm more so saying the name calling. Like if you're in a building throwing
Yeah, I want
shots,
to see it. I want to see all the shots that get thrown.
I don't think that everybody needs to see that.
I want to. I'm not saying everyone needs to see it. I'm saying
Are you? Wait,
I
wait,
want to see it.
Are you? So do you want to see it out of entertainment or just because?
No, I want all of the information that's available to me. I want to know. I just want to know. I think like all of that is information, and like when it happens behind the scenes, things play out that you might not understand. There's no context. It's like when things happen, I need the context. So I mean, I kind of like it. I disagree. I don't think we look weak right now. Globally, on a global scale, I don't think we look weak right now. I think that the countries that people fear the most are the ones that are unpredictable, and Trump is super unpredictable. Like, I think, like for instance, like a North Korea or like people don't like they're just unpredictable in a way. Even Russia is kind of like unpredictable, and like I think Trump's kind of following some of those countries in terms of like how their government is ran, in the sense that you're saying like we're moving away from a democracy towards like a quote unquote one party system. It's kind of Russia, it's China, you know. So I mean, there are countries globally that we respect that are on that frequency. I'm not gonna say whether it's a better or worse frequency because I don't think the American government,
Like China,
like exactly Russia, China, but I don't think the American government has ever been successful at doing anything. I think that I just
you said the American government is not successful at doing anything.
Yeah, I mean that's a biased take, but it's not built for our people. So it's like if I'm grading them on, like, what am I grading them on? F. Say not good. Like, what am I grading them on?
On a ability to keep a handle on the global scale.
That's not their job.
Why would that? I mean, that's the job of a government. Every government is trying to keep their people as safe as possible from the global scale. Every other, like, to government, you're supposed to be able to interact with other governments or other bodies.
Sure.
So that you're supposed to keep your people safe from because everybody wants more. Everybody wants, like, why wouldn't somebody?
So you're saying that we're not safe?
We are. That's why you're saying that we're not safe.
No, I'm not.
You're saying that you said the U.S. government is not successful at doing anything. So I'm saying they're successful at keeping us safe on a global scale.
But what you're saying is that currently we look weak. The government is.
I'm saying the way that Trump is going about it is signaling weakness. To me, it looks like it would be signaling weakness and discourse within your own country, to where if our enemy, this is when I would be trying to attack. You're arguing with yourself. You're arguing within your own government, not even necessarily.
Elon's not even in the government, though.
I mean, he's basically. I mean, if he's in, I thought he was with Doge.
I mean, but that's a Trump-appointed position that never existed before.
Yeah,
Elon.
but that's still the government. It's Trump.
And he left that position.
Did he leave the position?
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, like a week ago.
Well, it probably has.
And then started this.
Yeah, but it probably has
something to do with what's going on now.
I'm just saying, when people from the government like that had political, even if it was the governors and stuff like that, it's just like
our government is always fighting itself. Always.
Yeah.
That's filibusters. Like,
but I mean,
always.
I understand, but what I'm talking about is the petty back and forth. It's embarrassing to even have a president that is on Epstein files. Like, even to just be able to say that is just like, if I'm a outside government, this is when I'll be pushing the most propaganda. It's so easy to spread propaganda in social media. I'll be attacking the U.S. citizens hard. I'll be flooding everybody's time. Like, this is
I just don't think it will work.
Why wouldn't it work?
I think that the American culture permeates throughout global society. I think
I think that people are getting
I
tired.
think we have too big of a foothold.
People are getting tired of that.
I mean, they've been tired of America.
People have been tired of that, and just like how you were talking about, what like this is not serving. Like the United States on your grading scale is an F. People like the United States is not doing nothing for us. Everybody's tired of the United States. This is the perfect time to push anti-United States propaganda. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I mean, I agree.
So it's the more that you are sowing dissension within your own country, the weaker and more susceptible to attacks everybody's going to be. So if you're going to do discourse, if you're going to like, there's always, I guess the government is always fighting itself because it's a two-party system. Even if they're fighting for like the same thing, it's two different ways.
It's 250 people with opinions that are making laws.
So governments are always going to be the governments are always going to be fighting itself. It happens here, it happens other places. That's just the position of government. Mm-hmm. When you start having petty arguments and you start having presidents that are directly attacking anybody that speaks out, like you can't even speak out. You can't even have the argument. If everything was built
That's
on
what
argument.
happened in Russia, though. When the Ukraine war started and some Russians didn't like it, Vladimir was silencing all that shit.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not saying
putting all that shit on
I don't
ice.
think that's a good thing to do.
That didn't look like weakness to me is the point. It didn't look like weakness is the point. When it happened in Russia, it didn't make me say, oh, Russia's vulnerable for attack right now.
But Russia has always been like that. It's different if it's
Trump
different.
has always been like that.
But America hasn't always been like that.
America hasn't always been like that.
So that's why if America was always like that, then I wouldn't say that it looks like weakness. That's just the way that America operates. The fact that it's even at a transitional point, if this is a transition point to be like that, that's why when it's the weakest. If you're from outside looking in, if you're a third party, if America 1 is fighting to transition to America 2, that's fighting against each other. If I'm a third party, Russia, China, whoever, that's the time I'm going to attack. That's why that's the perfect time to get what I need to get.
I 100% agree with that.
But also,
I don't think we're at that place yet.
Not yet, but I feel like it's going that way. That's why I'm saying like it's a dangerous precedent.
It's a dangerous precedent.
It's a dangerous precedent to set to where you can't speak out against what the president's doing. It's like running a household where it's just like your kids can't say anything about their own opinions. They're like, of course you're gonna have to run your household, but you're gonna have to listen to the opinions from the people that live in the house, even if it's your decision to make the ultimate last decision. It's like you raise unhealthy kids if you never listen to their opinions or their grievances, or like that's not they're not going to.
There's so many households where the kids don't have a voice,
and I feel like that's why people are now introducing gentle parenting and trying to do corrective measures to where now they're overcorrecting to where they're allowing kids to say whatever the fuck. You know,
I feel like that's only white culture.
No, that's not white.
I don't see that in black culture.
Your sister does not raise her children the same way that your parents raised you. There is a softness with millennial parenting that did not exist with Gen X parenting.
Fair. Okay.
So even if it's white people might do it to a whole different extent. Black people have their own. It's not like it's not a white or black thing. It's a generation thing.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I'm saying that's even the overcorrection is unhealthy. Like we're doing an unhealthy overcorrection when we're just like it's the pendulum was swung all the way one way, and now those unhealthy people are raising a kid to trying to correct it by swinging the whole opposite way. And now it's like everything is imbalanced. Instead of those people that, yes, you're gonna have to have tough. Like you're gonna probably get spanked. You're gonna have to get tough love. But at the same time, your opinion is
valid. Your grievances are valid. Nobody can just do whatever to you. Just because I'm your parent doesn't mean I can just treat you any type of way. Those are the kids that end up being healthier. So if you want to create a healthy, safe space for,
But that's not what they want.
what do they want?
Power.
Oh yeah, that's
By any means.
by any means, and that's weak. Like that, I feel like that mindset weakens because you're not thinking about like this.
I don't necessarily think that it does. I think that like that's the story that we tell is like the bad approach it just doesn't work, but it does work. We see it work all the time. Russia, China.
I wouldn't say anybody that I've met from Russia. Where was I? I was in Germany. I went to Germany and we went to Checkpoint Charlie. At the Checkpoint Charlie is a checkpoint that I think the Nazis went through when they were going through Nazi Germany. And I met this lady from Russia that we were on a tour and she was taking her daughter to Germany. She wanted her daughter to see, and they lived in New York. And so we were talking about culture and talking about like my mom took me back to Panama just so that we can see Panama, get in tune with that culture a little bit more. And I looked at her and I was just like, oh, would you ever take your daughter back to Russia so you can see where you grew up? And she looked at me with like the coldest, like, I would never go back to Russia. There's nothing there. Like she's never that's like when somebody's like been looks like they've been traumatized, or like you reminded them of something traumatic, and like she was just like, yeah, there's no reason to ever go back to Russia. That she's never going back. She damn near looked like scared to even think about going back.
I believe it.
So it's just like, if that's the way that your citizens feel about your country, like, yeah, it works for you. It works for the person that has the power.
That's my point.
But it doesn't work for the household.
I'm not saying that it does.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying the household, you might not be considered weak. Trump might not be considered weak. The dad that is trying to...
But it doesn't matter if the citizens are weak or not. They don't...
Yeah, well, why would it not matter?
How does it matter? It obviously doesn't matter to anybody, or else they would prioritize it.
I mean, to anybody as in
power.
Oh yeah, no.
It doesn't matter on a global scale. What impact does it have? We're still gonna go to work. We're still gonna spend money.
At the end of the day,
the world's still gonna go around.
I mean, to me, it's just you're milking it so that you can get everything that you. But I'm saying it's weakening America. It might be strengthening Trump. So it's like that's like you're juicing.
I'm not looking at the citizens, and I'm not looking at Trump specifically. I'm looking at America as a country run by its government, right? I don't think the American government looks weak right now, right? Like I don't think anybody's like, now's the time to attack. I think maybe it's opening up for that.
I feel like people have been attacking.
Yeah, because no one likes America. But those attacks have fallen flat because America isn't weak.
I don't think those attacks.
Those attacks have fallen flat at large. What's the biggest threat to America right now?
The biggest threat to America is its own citizens. The biggest threat to America is all the people that have been falling out of patriotism for the last 10 years. They're finding it hard to even recruit people for the military. The military, that would weaken the military.
We have the largest military.
We do have the largest military, but they're also having to introduce different benefits they have had to campaign and not necessarily give more benefits, but change their marketing tactics. They have increasingly it's been harder. I've talked to people that were in the military. It's been increasingly harder for them to get people to join the military.
But we still have the largest military.
Yes, but also we're pretty much the only place that has the biggest, we attack our own country. We have school shootings. School shootings is a big issue. We have a lot of mental health crises. Like the biggest threat to America is own citizens, not necessarily.
Again, all of those things only affect citizens.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not talking about the citizens because at this scale, to the people we're talking about, they don't matter. That's clear.
Yeah, for sure.
right? So what really matters is the night, because we're talking about on a global dynamic, right? We're talking about the engagement of countries with other countries. The citizens don't matter unless they're in the military. Like the only thing that I think impacts America's strength no, not even.
What was the thought?
I mean, I think you're onto something with the attack when we're weak methodology, right? But I don't think that we're weak enough just yet.
Oh no, not just yet.
And I don't think we're close.
I'm
I don't
not
even think we're close, right? Like I think the biggest threats to America are things like BRICS. I think the biggest thing, like they're trying to prioritize a global currency that's not the USD. Right now, most countries back based on the USD currency, right? If they can prioritize a different, because so essentially what that means is that by default, inflation is constantly happening, right? So the USD is being worth less and less, and these other countries are basing their currencies off the USD. So then their currencies get devalued at a quicker pace than the American currency, which is why the American dollar is so strong overseas, right? So I think the biggest threat to America is our debt. It's organizations like BRICS. It's Russia, China, like all which are part of BRICS, right? So that's really the biggest threats to America, and I think that Trump knows that, which is why he's doing the whole nationalist thing, right? Like Trump isn't really focused globally right now. He's focused on nationalist ideas. He's trying to close the borders off. He's trying to bring production back to the United States, things like that. And I mean, it's from a strategic perspective, it's a sound enough strategy. I just don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work. I think America's done for it. It just is gonna be a slow death. America's on a slow death, and I don't think that anything is gonna change that trajectory. But I just don't think that we're in such a weak position just yet. I think it's gonna be a long, slow death. Is what I think.
That's basically what I'm saying. I think it's
Yeah.
going to continue. But that's what I'm saying. It's
But I don't think the
continuously-
citizens matter in that equation. Like I don't think that they're gonna change. I don't think the citizens are gonna be able to change that. I don't think the citizens' votes really count. The citizens are just going to have to live with whatever happens at a higher scale of power, right? Like people above us make the decisions, and we just deal with the life that comes from those decisions. Like there really isn't very much power at the citizen level unless there's unity. And like you're saying, there's so much division within the country.
I'm
There's
not
no
saying
unity.
that there's power in the citizens. I'm saying that ultimately the citizens make up the country, and you can. I guess the top can have power, but even if the bottom's eroding, I feel like you're going, like, as time goes on, you're going to have less as a position of power.
Right, because you don't have any power over anyone.
Over anybody, you're just
Right.
So if you're in,
But those
like you're
citizens
saying,
aren't going to go anywhere. Where are they going to
If you're
go?
in debt, I can't go anywhere.
They're not going anywhere. The American citizen is not leaving America
No.
at large. There's no large exodus from America. Like, where are they going to go? You know
Nowhere.
what I'm saying? So it's like they're always going to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a sticky, it's an interesting,
It's a dangerous precedent.
dangerous precedence. You want to pivot to
Yeah,
the
we can pivot.
Howley DDG?
Yeah, we can. Let's do. I have a little. Before we even go into the Howley DDG, there was this man that he texted in a thread. He wanted to see if he was tripping because this interaction was insane. He thought this was just like the most insane behavior. So he got a text after going like an outing with a group of friends, and this is a woman in his group of friends that texted him after. He said, "Hey, can I talk to you about yesterday? It was kind of shitty thing you did. The toxic attitude when I called was just, I don't know, rude." He responds, Hey, sorry, I'm just waking up. Huh? What attitude? It's 4 p.m. Who wakes up at 4 p.m.? Blah, blah, blah. He has work at 7. Let me see. You really need to stop the lies. It isn't healthy. I've tolerated it for a while, but it starts to hurt our friendship. No one works for overnight for 12 hours.
What? Yes, they do.
Uh, I, she said, okay, I'm getting up coffee. Character explained the attitude comment. Absolutely. So when I asked you to do my breaks yesterday, you just blew me off and made that toxic masculine joke about I can come clean your house if it was important and what. Excuse me, this is a run-on sentence. And then made the toxic masculinity joke about I can come clean your house if it was that important, and you would work on them. So he's offering for changing her breaks for free. He's offering. She's like, okay, you can come clean my house, and I'll do your breaks for free.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of rude knowing I'm broke and doing, and I'm. It's what?
This story is not reading well.
It's kind of rude knowing I'm broke. And donut choices at the moment. You said this lady's not. Hey, you want to read this? See if this makes sense to you.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so the story is that this is a girl and a guy talking, right? The girl's basically saying she wants to talk about something that happened yesterday. She thinks that the dude did something shitty and had a toxic attitude. And then he's just waking up. It's at 4 p.m. And she's like, it's 4 p.m. Who wakes up at 4 p.m.? And he said, I told you I work 12 hours overnight shifts at 7. And then she's saying basically that he lies. It isn't healthy. No one works overnight for 12 hours. And then he basically just says, okay. Like he just shrugs it off like, okay, I'm getting
Like,
coffee.
why am I going to argue?
I'm not going to argue with you. I just got off work. Like if no one works for 12 hours, then I guess I'm no one. That's my new name, right? Cool. So she said, or he says, you wouldn't care to explain the attitude comment? And then she says, all right, absolutely. So when I asked you to do my breaks yesterday, you blew me off. And then made the toxic masculine joke. If I could come clean your house, and if it was that important. Oh, if it was that important for him to do her breaks, from her perspective, then she could come clean his house. And then she's basically saying, your mom's calling.
Hello. Oh, you're not going today? Oh, okay. Okay, no problem. All right. Okay, no problem. All right, bye.
Uh-oh, he's in trouble, guys.
I'm about to get grounded.
Matt's still on the nipple.
I'm about to
31-year-old man still drinking breast milk is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. She's about to say, stay in your house. Stay in your house. Don't come out of your apartment.
All right, let's continue this story. So, she said, kind of rude knowing I'm broke and don't have other choices at the moment. So she's expecting this man to fix her brakes for cheap or free. And it's basically saying that it's rude for him to insinuate she should clean his house in exchange for him doing her breaks. And then kind of rude knowing I'm broke and don't have other choices at the moment. And you said this part's bleeped out, but said either you or I could come use your tools in the yard because as my BF, which is either boyfriend or best friend, I don't know which one, he should be doing it, not you. Oh,
Her
and you
boyfriend,
said,
her boyfriend should be doing it instead of him because he's not her boyfriend.
yeah, knowing he can't fix cars like you. Oh, okay, so she's asking a friend.
Hold on, real quick. MRC Beaver Health, I'm gonna help you. Okay, no problem. We let her know when she comes in. No problem. Thank you.
I can continue. All right. So she's basically asking him to do her brakes. And he made a comment when she said that about her cleaning his house, and then also said that her boyfriend could use his tools in the yard, because he should be doing it, not him. Which makes sense to me. Damn, he's actually, that's a good deal.
That's a good deal. I don't understand what the
He
problem
use the
is.
tools and the yard. That's a good friend.
Like,
Get your boyfriend to do it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair, right? That's not crazy. All right, and then she says that it's kind of rude knowing he can't fix cars like you, and it only took you an hour last time to do my brakes. So he already did her brakes. You know what I'm saying? This girl's entitled as hell. And you acted like I was asking for you to fix an engine. You don't know the difference. You don't know the like. She's over here like what?
It should be easy. It should be simple. But nobody else, her boyfriend doesn't know how to do it. You don't know how to do it. But it's just like, nah, it should. Okay, come on, get out of here, dog.
And then she said, also, why do you want me to clean your house? You didn't make John do anything when you helped him move. Your attitude towards women is gross. Are you ignoring me? He said, I told you I was getting coffee. I have work in 2 hours. I like this guy, man. She said, you can't even keep your lies straight. 2 hours is 6 p.m., not 7. He said,
Get to work early?
He said, oh my gosh, I leave the house at 6 to be on time. I have to punch in by 6:45. She said, are you ignoring me again?
Jesus Christ. No, it's crazy.
What?
This is not even his girlfriend.
This is not even his girlfriend. This is a female friend.
This is a female friend
Asking for something for free.
For a favor.
That she already got for free and wants to do nothing in exchange for it, and is blowing him up like he needs to respond immediately. So he said, okay, rewind a minute here. I said I only have 1 day off, and I was going out with a friend who was going to come back after, and we were going to watch movies. So I needed to clean because her kid and my youngest son were having a play date.
And this man has kids.
This man has kids.
It's not like this man just has mad free time. He has work, he has kids.
And he only has 1 day
and
off.
1 day off. And you want him to spend that day fixing
your
tires.
brakes for free.
Fixing your brakes. Go ahead.
And then he said, I said I would do your brakes if you didn't mind cleaning, since I simply would not have time to do both. When you said I was being selfish, I offered to let your boyfriend do them in my yard with my tools. They aren't hard to do, and I would be there for questions. As for John, which is the friend that he helped move,
Okay.
I actually was helping John because John babysat one night when my mom was sick. I can ask anything of that dude, and he is there. So
Why does he even explain himself?
doesn't have to.
That's like,
So when he asks something, unless I have something more important going on, I am there. But I would also respect if he is busy. And she said, whatever. You just need to check your male privilege attitude. I was going to set you up with one of my single friends, but now I'm having second thoughts. He said,
okay.
please don't. He said, please don't. If her friend is anything like you.
I'm pass on that.
She said, what? Are you joking? My friend is smoking hot and out of your league.
Okay, like what the hell's going on? Okay.
He said, it's not that. I am a single dad. I don't have time to date right now. I tried and realized it just wasn't the right time. In a few years, when my youngest is older, maybe. She said, "Oh, because it would cramp your Playboy lifestyle with all your booty calls like yesterday that stopped you being a friend and doing my breaks." She wants to fuck this guy. she wants to fuck this guy. This is not a friendly conversation.
It doesn't sound
She
like
seems
they're friends to
very
me.
jealous, insecure, and possessive over this man that is not her boyfriend.
That's just insane. Honestly,
And entitled.
If I was a boyfriend, I'd feel a type of way.
Yeah, like
Like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
Right.
why even having a back and forth with this nigga like this? Like, he's not even trying to talk to you like that.
yeah, you're not. Yeah, this is a very weird conversation. So he said, legit was just a play date for kids and hanging out with another parent, giving. Didn't even sit on the same couch. Oh, he's explaining what he did with the girl the previous day. Bruh, she wants to fuck this guy, and I don't know why he's giving this much information or making excuses for his actions.
At first, I feel like he
Double
wants to,
down.
He wants to fuck her too.
He does want to fuck her too.
I feel like he wants to
He
fuck
does
her
wanna
too.
fuck her too. Yeah,
I
they
feel like
they
that's
want to
like-
fuck
that's
each
the
other.
even, like,
Yep, he does want to fuck her too. But
he's-
like that's
that's a
like,
that's a understand. That's a given.
That's a
but I don't
given.
even
That's
think
a
that,
given.
I think that from this conversation, he's having second thoughts. Like, but he's explaining like this is a girl.
yeah, he's explaining this. Like, no, I don't even think he's having second thoughts. I don't think he's having second thoughts. I think he's just like, at this point, if they've been friends for a while, he's just accustomed to putting up with her bullshit,
True.
and he's just simping to, hopefully one day land in some cat.
And when her and her boyfriend are done.
Yeah,
with-
she's gonna come crying to him. He's gonna fix her brakes.
Okay,
She's gonna come over and he's gonna fix her brakes,
that's crazy.
change her oil.
That's some diabolical shit. Okay, cute.
All right. Hanging out with another parent, chilling. Oh, when I said giving, he meant chilling. He fixed his typo. He said, "We watch Mario Bros. For God's sakes." And then she said, "Whatever. My friend is too good for you anyway. Are you free Thursday to do my breaks?"
That's crazy. Still being on the breaks is insane. Saying that somebody is too good, like, oh, this person is out of your league, is too good for you. So you're I kind of view you as down here. This person I view up here. This person I view you down here, but still want you to do this thing for free for me. I still need that favor, Playboy.
He said, "First thing is starting to annoy me is breaks." Oh, she's been spelling breaks wrong the entire time. He said, "So this is starting to annoy me." Recorrected her on how to spell breaks, and then said, "You have a lunch break. Cars have brakes."
That's hilarious.
And then he said, "And I don't know, honestly. It's supposed to snow, so I might take the kids sledding."
And it's cold. You want me to do this in the cold?
In the winter.
In the winter?
In the winter time.
Get the fuck out of here.
She said, "Oh my gosh, I don't need the ego. Can you help or not?" Oh, I see now that you got a new girl. You don't have time for your friends. This girl's super jealous, bro. She's trying to fuck this
She's
guy.
trying to fuck this guy. Yeah,
She's
that-
tryna-
how do you clock every single one of the girls I've talked to in this week?
Yeah, that's
Like,
crazy.
that's insane.
I've had a female friend like this. I actually had a female friend like this in college. That's funny. That's crazy. This whole conversation is reminding me of that dynamic.
Did she want to fuck you?
All right, so he says, "Huh? What are you talking about? There is no girl. If you are referring to the friend from yesterday, one, that is a kid-parent friend. This means we are friends because our kids are friends. Two, if I was taking her or talking to her, what would that matter? Three, just go pay to have them done."
That's facts. Over here on my phone trying to get me to do shit for free. Like, nigga, all this back and forth, you could have been had your breaks done. I ignored you for a reason. I've been doing shit.
This bitch, bro. Her next message is, "You know I can't afford to. You know I can't afford it. Stop being an asshole. You can take the kids sledding another time." Bitch,
That's insane.
I held
That's-
the bitch back this entire time, but you could take the kids sledding another time. Bitch, like what?
Those
the
not
fuck are
even
you
your
talking
kids.
about?
This is not. You don't have it. Why are you trying to regulate shit over here?
Yeah,
you
you-
have no say what I'm doing.
You
with
are
my
not my
children.
dependent.
You're not even a part of my family.
You a
You're not-
rando.
That's insane.
He said, "I'm over this conversation. Tell Steven to call me." I think that's her boyfriend.
Yeah. So tell Steven to call me so I can beat his ass. Like nigga.
And then get my sister to beat your ass.
Yeah, nigga. I can't do nothing to you, but Steven, I'll fuck him up. He don't know how to change no brakes.
Then she starts doing mad messages. She said, "He isn't your friend. I am. If you think I'm going to let you talk to my BF instead of dealing with me." This girl is so annoying, bruh.
That's mad annoying.
She said, "Hello? This is what I'm talking about. You are a narcissist. You really do need therapy."
He's the narcissist?
She's the narcissist. She's the
He's the
narcissist.
narcissist?
Entitled narcissist. And then she said, "I don't know how someone thought you make a fit parent based on how you treat your friends. You need a class." Then she goes for his parenting. Oh, yeah. I would just block this girl. I don't even block people for real, but I would block this girl immediately. Because this is just a nuisance.
So this is the way that you think that you're gonna get your brakes done.
By name calling me.
By
Insulting by taking shit out of my kid's mouth, name calling me, insulting my parenting.
Saying that your other friends are so much above
me.
That's just wild.
This is just bad friend. L friend.
L friend.
L person.
Leave
L
L's in
human.
the chat.
L's in the chat. You need a class. And about my brakes, she's still spelling brakes wrong. Even after being corrected, she's still spelling brakes wrong,
I
bro.
feel like she did that on purpose.
Probably. If you can't Thursday, how about Friday?
That's crazy.
And about my brakes, if you can't Thursday, how about Friday is crazy.
That's crazy.
This girl's a user. She's just trying to extract. She's just trying to use. And then she said, "Is where you lie and somehow work now magically started at 4? Whatever. I'll call you tomorrow to set up a time. Don't work too hard." Ha 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 ha. This girl's a psychopath.
Yeah, no, this is.
She's a maniac. She's a psychopath.
She has something. Something's not right
She's
up here.
autistic.
Something's not right up here. Something. She is blown by every single social cue. Every single social cue that could be like, hey, I don't have. Besides saying, bitch, I don't want to do this shit.
Yep.
And then if he said no or straight up it was aggressive, like no, I don't want to do that. It's gonna be a problem.
And doesn't want to clean that nigga's house.
It was just like, yo.
All she had to do was clean my brother's house.
He offered a fair trade.
It's a fair trade. Just clean my brother's house. He offered 2 fair trades. He offered you can clean my house or get your boyfriend to do it with my tools.
Time.
And my.
Do you think? Well, I guess. Do you think that cleaning somebody's house is a fair trade for cleaning, changing somebody's brakes?
Of course. You know how much you could pay to get someone to clean your house? It's less than $100. You know how much it costs for someone to change your brakes?
Yeah.
Like probably 3-4 times that much. Well, the brakes.
The brakes will be a part of the cost. So
cost.
if she's supplying the brakes, that's different.
Then to me, it's more of an even exchange. If she's not supplying the brakes, then it's not an even exchange.
So between doing the brakes and cleaning the house?
Yeah, to me, they could probably do it in about the same amount of time. It takes 2 different levels of experience.
I wonder how long it takes to like change the brakes.
I think someone could do that in like an hour or hour and a half.
Probably
2 hours max.
Probably wouldn't even take that long.
Probably wouldn't even take that long.
I'll say probably 30 minutes.
I mean, it depends. Is he doing the front?
It really depends on how well he is, how good that he is at changing them.
Yeah,
like
his
if he's an
experience
experienced
depends
mechanic,
on what kind of setup he has at the crib.
Because that's probably what she's going off. She's probably going off the fact that he's done this before. Last time she pulled up, because this is not the first time. This is probably not even the second time. So if she's pulled up and it was just like it took him like 30 minutes and he was out, she probably just thinks this is just an easy job. Mm-hmm. Like she's probably thinking it would just take him 30 minutes. She's gonna chill in the house drinking lemonade or watching TV or something like that, and he's gonna be bing bop boom. She's done and she can go about her life, fuck on her man, and
crazy.
But keep on going.
And then she said, "By the way, don't think I didn't notice you didn't buy me anything for Valentine's Day. What kind
For
of friend?"
Valentine's Day.
Oh, this girl's trying to get plowed.
That's crazy.
She's trying to get her back blown out. What? Don't think I didn't notice you didn't buy me anything for Valentine's Day. What kind of friend does that? What? What? What?
For Valentine's Day is
It's
insane.
absurd, fool.
Is insane.
That's literally crazy.
Nah, she wants this guy.
She wants
For
it
sure.
bad. She wants it bad. I don't think he wants it that bad no more.
I don't think
Because
so.
she's throwing it at him. Based upon that message, she's throwing it on him.
Honestly, sounds like she threw it before and he didn't catch it.
He was just like, "That's
It,
interesting."
it sounds like she's, I don't know. And this is a lot to get from a single text thread, but it sounds like this is the guy that she wants. She was with this other guy to try to like fill the time, but this is the guy that she actually wants.
Yeah.
And so now she's upset because she's probably throwing
Can't get what
hints,
she wants out of this
and she
dude.
can't get what she wants out of this nigga, even though she is technically, because he did change her brakes before.
Yeah, and he is responding to all them dumbass messages. Except for that. I mean, that last page was all her. It's like 10 messages with no response.
So that was this is I was just wanted to read that. I wanted that to be read because it's just it's showing an example of how women sometimes, well, not all women, some women are in a relationship that is not even intimate. It's not even a boyfriend girlfriend relationship. What if they're like cheating? What if this is the guy that she was cheating with?
Could be.
That makes that
No, but I feel like if it was, then he would be doing her breaks.
he did the breaks.
He would be doing the breaks.
And he's not even unwilling to not. He's not willing to. It's not like he's not willing to do the breaks. He just wants a little something in return. What did he get from the first couple of times he did the breaks?
It doesn't seem as if they're cheating together. Maybe they've done something before.
Maybe. I'm saying I feel like, but all I'm saying is at the end of the day, this is an example of how some women can be in a relationship,
Extract services and resources from other people, other men in their life.
expectantly, without remorse,
Yep.
without thinking that
With
it's
entitlement.
a weird request.
Yep.
Which takes me into the fact that people have been disparaging DGG for a while.
Mm-hmm.
This is somebody that they also, a lot of the public has said that is so far above. No, that Halle Bailey is so far above DGG. They've been disparaging DDG about why is he even dealing with her. Oh no, why is Halle even dealing with DDG?
Mm-hmm.
Calling them doo-doo garbage. Was that from who started that?
That was Illuminati.
Why did he start calling him doo-doo garbage?
They've been beefing for a minute, but I don't know specifics exactly.
Okay, but now it has come out that Halle Bailey is accusing DDG of domestic violence.
But DDG did fuck Illuminati's girl.
Okay.
That might be why.
That
might be why he's mad.
Yeah.
and then he made a hit record, his biggest song of all time, right? He made a hit record about it, and then took Illuminati's little phrase, because Illuminati always says that's tough, and then he did the Blueface and DDG hosted the B&B. He did a song with Blueface. He was like, "That's tough, that's tough." That shit was funny.
I'll call him doo-doo garbage too.
Yeah.
But
If you search on Spotify with the doo-doo garbage emojis, DDG's profile will come up.
That's
Funny
hilarious.
fact.
That's hilarious. But
One of the funniest internet beefs of the recent past 10 years.
But why am I actually looking this up? It does come up.
It does come up,
It does
yeah.
come up.
Yeah.
You put in two doo-doo signs and no
And the garbage can.
DDG will come up.
That was funny.
But so people were disparaging DG for a while, saying that Halle Bailey is so much above DDG. Why is she dating him? Why is she with him? Why did she allow herself to get pregnant by him? Right? Comes out she is seeking full custody of her son Halo, the son that between her and DDG, and because of domestic violence that was allegedly done by DDG to Halle Bailey. She alleged that he slammed her head into the ceiling,
Steering wheel,
chipped her tooth, had bruises on her arm. That's the only evidence of anything that we've seen that she took pictures of. Is she alleging that anything else happened?
She's alleging that there was other incidents outside of that day, but all of her evidence.
All the evidence that we've seen is from that one day.
Correct.
So she wanted full custody. And first of all, what did you think when that first came out?
When it first came out, my initial thought, my very first reaction was, this isn't the full story, and she's trying to gain full custody. Like it was a.
That was your first initial instinct.
Yeah, this isn't the full story, and she was doing this in an attempt to get custody and to potentially hurt him or like make him feel something because it's obvious that they've been going back and forth.
Okay.
So that was my official thought. Soon after that, I was like, so I was kind of like pro DDG initially.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is some bullshit, right? I thought it was interesting that it happened right after he dropped his album, right after he broke some streaming records, all that stuff. I was just like, oh yeah, like he's on a run post breakup. She doesn't like it. She's trying to get under her skin. It's kind of what it came out to me.
So your initial thought was he didn't do it, or that it was just a ploy.
It was a ploy to get full custody and to get under his skin, whether he did it or not. Within 10 minutes, I was like, okay, well, let me like pull back a little bit and like actually examine some more of like what's in this. And I just kind of was like 50-50. I'm like, I think they're probably both toxic. And I think they're probably fighting each other and trying to get under each other's skin. And I think they're probably equally to blame in a lot of this. It's kind of where I landed quickly after learning about what was going on. And I'm still kind of there.
Yeah, no, I think for me, so whenever I hear situations like this, I try not to jump to any conclusions quickly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, these are not people that we know. These are not people that we ever interacted with. But I thought that was very interesting. We've known about this nigga's girlfriend since forever. And ever since that he's been on the public scene, he's never had. We've known about his girlfriends. Every girlfriend, a lot of girlfriends that he's had are very public relationships.
Ruby Rose did come out and say that he was abusive too before Halle.
Did she?
Yeah,
before Halle.
before Halle.
And what happened with that?
I don't remember, but that was another
Like-
toxic relationship.
Like, she said that he put her hands on her. Or was it just
Yeah,
a
I don't know
toxic
the-
relationship? 'Cause I know that he's the one that encouraged Ruby Rose to do OnlyFans.
Yeah, but she did say that he was. I don't know if it was one incident or she was saying that it was throughout the relationship, but I think it was post breakup. I think girls post breakup be jaded and be trying to like ruin niggas' image or trying to get under their skin, make them feel something or whatever post breakup a lot of the times, and it's just kind of like, okay, like I don't know, and it sucks because when something's really happening, people don't believe women because these bitches be lying or exaggerating.
I don't think they'd be lying though, because that's what I'm saying. If he did it, then
but I think it's selective truth, right? Because if you're saying this person's abusive and you're the victim, why are you not? He just released documents talking about she stabbed him. So that to me, y'all are abusing each other. Why aren't you only talking about his abuse and not saying that it was a mutually abusive relationship? Yeah, that's not what these girls are saying. They're painting themselves as a victim. To me, that's lying. That's selective truth. That's selective truth. That's lying. You're not telling the whole story. If you're gonna tell the story, tell the whole story. Don't tell the story in a way that only benefits you and makes the other person look bad. That's lying. That's manipulating people. That's lying. It's an illusion. It's deceptive. That's my thoughts on it.
No, I agree, and I do think that I think that abuse word is thrown out too much,
Too loosely.
It's thrown out too loosely. Because it's not technically lying. The fact that if even if she hit him or he hurt her, the man is still going to be looked at as the one. No matter if you leave that out, no matter if you put that in there, the man is always going to be the one that is going to be looked at as in the wrong.
Correct.
So no matter what, if you put your hands on a woman, you're always going to be looked at as if you're in the wrong.
Correct.
You are in the wrong if you put your hands on anybody. Period. I'm not like no matter
if you're male or
no
female.
matter if you're male or female, you're in the wrong.
Correct.
If you put your hands on, but societal standards. So if you do that, it's not. You don't have to paint any picture because that's what you did. You just have to tell the behavior that has been going on.
But you gotta tell the whole story still. I think context
Even
is
if
important.
you told the whole story, most people still do not care. Oh, not most people.
I think it's mostly just women and far left men that don't care.
I feel like that's a big.
It's a big chunk. It's
big
the
chunk.
loudest chunk.
Yeah,
It's the loudest chunk.
would
But
say-
it's not everybody.
not everybody.
I think
not
a
every-
lot
I
of
said
men
a lot-
are not going because they've dealt with women before and have been in the situations where
Media,
tempers get hot or whatever.
but in media wise, it's still like I'm saying
It's
not
the bad look media wise.
Media
Brands
wise,
are gonna cancel you, all that stuff. Sure,
You're gonna get canceled
for sure.
Well, it's gonna be an attempt because does canceling even exist?
Right.
That's
It's
a
gonna be an
whole
attempt.
different.
Right.
That's a whole different.
People can
discussion.
cancel your contract.
But also, I feel like all what has been said about the back and forth, I feel like that's why men need to be coming forward to the police more to even if this.
When people call the police, 80 to 90% of the time, regardless on who started what in domestic abuse situations, the man's who gets arrested. So calling the police doesn't help.
You need, just like how DDG I had pictures. I think that it needs some type of report, some type of documentation.
Yeah, that's why I think men are starting to film these.
needs to
You
happen.
just need to document what's happening at the time. You have to have the wherewithal, like
the visual
to record, to know.
to have
okay,
the visual proof.
Emotions are getting hot. Let me record this. Let me have cameras in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like women don't really need to do that. People are just gonna believe them. But men, I think, need to be very vigilant about just documenting what's happening and as it's happening and making sure you have your I's dotted and your T's crossed.
And this is what DDG did because there is a couple pictures, not too many pictures, of incidents
Stabbed him,
where
bruises on his
she
arms.
came at him with a knife, trying to stab him, like he said, had bruises in the arm, and DDG had taken a picture of this.
Got text messages about her threatening to kill herself.
That was very, very interesting to me because it's just like I couldn't even what do you even?
I think my thoughts on it is he was a little cold.
Yeah,
He was definitely a little cold, but at
I
the
mean,
same
you kind of
time,
have to kind of force his hand to be.
potentially. Well, we don't really know what led up to that emotional climax.
I
right?
imagine that's not his first time. That's not the first time he's been threatened with that.
What, she threatened him with that? Probably not. But at the end of the day, this is the mother of your child, and she just gave birth, right? So
Mhm.
there's
So
postpartum.
postpartum
Postpartum is a real thing.
It is.
Not trying to take that away, but at the same time, regardless of what you're going through, emotionally, depression, whatever, you're still responsible for your actions, right?
Mhm.
Because there's tons of people who have mental health issues that go in and shoot up schools, and we're not just like, oh, they were depressed. don't punish them, right? So you're still, as an adult, you're still responsible for your actions regardless of your mental state. Okay, cool. So I think, you know, it just showed like manipulation attempts. A lot of she was trying to emotionally manipulate him, for sure. It did seem as if she was a danger to herself and to her son. I'm not gonna lie, like based upon the messages that came out, it was like, oh yeah, you threatened to kill yourself like 2-3 times, right? Talked about having knives. He said that she had his gun. You know what I'm saying? His gun doesn't have a safety on it. Like, just that type of behavior is very dangerous to you and everyone who you're around. And then stabbing him is crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. But it's not necessarily something that you've not heard before.
Yeah, I mean, I've had something similar happen to me. You probably heard this shit from me.
I don't remember that story.
Oh, you don't remember that story?
Mm-mm,
From when I was in Philly?
No, I don't remember that story.
Well, no one tried to stab me, but she was trying to stab herself
Oh, okay.
in the stomach.
I know who you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I remember. I did. Yeah. Nah. Okay. But this is such a interesting topic to me because it's like, where is the line between the responsibility of what you would say the woman, the toxic, let's not even say woman, but the toxic person. You're putting the responsibility that, oh, this is something toxic that this person is doing. This person has a trend of toxic behavior, and this is my responsibility to vet these people and not deal with, like, see signs of toxicity, see signs and not engage.
She hit that shit so well.
I don't think so.
She hit that shit well.
Because even when you watch her live with her sister and she's just being candid, she be saying like crazy shit.
And I thought she portrayed herself as this angel, Disney angel.
Yeah, of course. Her public image,
very good PR.
Her
PR
public
is
image
very good.
was damn near impeccable
It was
before
spotless.
Damn near impeccable.
Before DDG, it was spotless.
I'm saying you have to, like, for example, what's the example? I was talking to a girl. And what's the example I'm trying to? I was talking to a girl and we were talking about relationships, right? And of course, it got sexual, and I asked her, like, what do you think about like threesomes? Because she was talking about how she like is kind of attracted to girls and stuff like that. So it's just like, you would never do a threesome. You never want to like have a threesome, like you, your man, and another girl, because like you obviously like girls. And she was just like, no, that's something I always wanted to do, but I wouldn't want my man to interact with the other girl at all. I would just want both of them just to focus on me. It's all about me. And
yeah, it's always all about them. First of all. Second of all, it's common for a lot of these girls. They be saying that they would do it with a dude that's not their man, but they don't want to do it with their man.
No, I asked that. Even that question, she still wants both people to be focused on her. This bitch is selfish
and just entitled and selfish. Yeah.
So it's just like
a self-centered society.
Even off of that, I was just like, I'll probably never ever take this girl serious.
Never.
I've never taken this girl serious because even just
all about her.
Off of hearing that, I'm just like, what would be even the point? You know what I'm saying? I obviously, like, I heard enough. This is like, even if it's something that is we're never necessarily gonna do. Like that's not necessarily the importance. Like
it's the mentality.
The mentality.
It's the mentality.
That's what I'm saying. So it's just like, if you have, and this is not like as I've gotten older. This was like when I was relatively young. You know what I'm saying? I was probably like 23, 24. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is back in the day. So it's just like, I don't think that people can hide that well to where it's just like you can't see.
No, they can.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think everyone can. I think it's a skill that you have to possess, but you could definitely hide.
Because even off of Halle Bailey,
I think some people are good at it.
I've seen like it's not like lives from with her and her sister back in the, and I was like, oh, this girl's a little unhinged. I'm not gonna say like I don't know her because it's just like I've never met her in person, but often that's like it's like watching a podcast. Even if you like watch this show and just
I
like
think there will always
these
be
niggas are
like,
nuts.
There will always be little glimpses if you're around someone enough, but you have to like be around them a lot. I think if they're around someone consistently and almost constantly, then something will slip, right? But if someone only has to engage with you an hour at a time or a few hours at a time,
You
they
think
can,
that's-
they can
think-
definitely hide.
Do you think that's the nature?
true
Well,
character.
obviously we don't know, but do you think that's the nature of DDG and Halle Bailey's relationship?
Well, we don't know how much they were engaging in the beginning, right? Because by the time you make the decision to get into a relationship,
But
we know that they were together.
I'm more so saying having a baby. You can get a relationship and get out of a relationship.
Right. But having a baby,
it's not like DDG. From what he said,
you know what I will say?
I think to have this baby.
I think DDG is very methodical, right? I think that at the point of his career before Halle, he was like at the cusp of like, let's call it B-list celebrity, right? He was at the,
He thinks that he's B-list before Halle.
no, I was gonna say before
Oh, yeah.
Halle, he was at the cusp of being B-list celebrity.
So he was C.
He was C.
And I don't even think that he was C.
C or D, whatever.
I mean, but it doesn't. I guess it doesn't necessarily matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
right? But like he was at the cusp of being B-list, right? Because before Halle, he had just gotten out of a relationship with Ruby Rose, who was also, you know, probably at the cusp of B, right? Like she's like a C-list celebrity. I would put them both at like C-list. And
Okay.
then I think that DDG got out of that toxic relationship with Ruby. She was very toxic publicly, so like that was her persona. And then he went for the sweet image girl Halle, and I think he knew that dating Halle would improve his social status.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying there's anything. I'm not saying
So
anything.
what I'm saying is,
against-
I think that he went into that relationship from a business mindset, not a romantic one.
yeah, I'm not saying that you don't have you not get into a relationship.
And
I'm
then
more
I
so
think that
saying
he wanted to cement
With the
his-
baby?
with the baby, because Halle is like, she's a Rock Nation child. She's Beyonce, she's Jay-Z. Like her social status just from being signed to these people is elevated above his dramatically. Like DDG is from Pontiac, basically from quote unquote nothing, right? He's from nothing. He built this up himself, and I think he built it to where he could take it on his own. And I think that the social relationships at that point were more leverage and worth more than money. So I think that he aligned himself because he met all those people, Jay-Z, through Halle. You know what I'm saying? These are the people who are at the top of the industry that he's trying to break into. And I think Halle was his way in, and he wanted to cement his place in there. I don't think that he thought it was going to go so left. I don't think that he foresaw the emotional baggage or the backlash that was going to happen from a breakup or whatever like that. I thought he can get in and get out like, you know, seamlessly. And I don't think he intended to be a baby dad. I think he really wanted it to work with her, but you know, he ended up discovering things that, because I think like even if you do get signs of like character flaws, right? For one, everyone's gonna have some character flaws. Everybody, right? We all flawed. That's one. Number two, as a man, you think that you can deal with these things, coach these people out of these things, like, you know what I'm saying? So like, there's just this leadership where it's like, okay, well, like this is where this person's starting off, but you know, we can grow together, right? But I think at a certain point, it just gets to a place where you reach your breaking point. So, I mean, I think that's what happened with him. But I think that's kind of what happens when you make those decisions based upon your career trajectory rather than real synergy.
I think that he, like you said, never saw it going this left, but he also never thought that was going to happen to him. Like DG always talks about how he was never going to be a baby daddy or be like his kids never going to be taken away from him, and
Naive, young people thing.
but also I feel like Halle has always used the language of these are my kids or this is mine, like this, like where she's, I feel like always talked with possessive language. So it's just like, if this is like, to me, I guess if it's more of a business decision, that makes sense. But it's just like, how do you not think that's gonna happen if she's already talked about like fathers or the fathers of her kids without even having the kid. This is before.
But
she
you
had
gotta
the
think,
kid.
they live in L.A., bro. The majority of the women that he's coming in contact with are probably 10 times worse
That's
in terms
true.
of their character traits than Halle was.
That's true.
This is L.A. Like, the dating market in L.A. is probably dog piss.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like she probably kind of stood out amongst the rest of them as like this quiet, shy, submissive, feminine girl. And he was just like, well, this is the best out of the bunch. So he probably wasn't looking at all those flaws. He was probably looking at all the pros. Because she presented like a lot of pros. You know what I'm saying? She presents herself as like a very feminine
I mean, she
female.
is.
And I would even say she is. But I think there's some shadow feminine going on in there, where it's just
She's
like,
the
okay,
manipulative.
there's some repressed, very much manipulator.
And I feel like that manipulation,
Manipulator and entitled.
Well, I feel like it's a learning moment. It's something that young men should be looking at and trying to learn from, because you can learn from other people's mistakes.
But I think she's a manipulator and entitled. DDG is a narcissist, and he's deceptive. I think like
Why would you
his
say
true
that?
intentions aren't. He's
mean,
definitely a
you watch-
narcissist.
I mean, I don't really watch that much DDG besides been following this case.
I think most celebrities are kind of narcissistic, right? Like the ego's in charge, right? And then why I would say deceptive, I think like DDG thinks 10 steps ahead and like does things, that takes actions that he knows will benefit him in the long run. I think he's very smart. I think he's a very smart dude.
I mean, he was valedictorian.
So I think he just didn't weigh the pros and the cons or the risk of this particular situation well enough. He didn't evaluate risk well enough in this particular situation. But I think it was strategic. I don't think it was just like spontaneous. I think they spontaneously fell in love. I think it was a strategic move that just backfired on him. The risk outweighed the reward in this. Well, maybe not. Maybe the risk didn't outweigh the reward.
No,
He's
I think
now
that
B-list.
everything that the reward is reaping is still going.
He's still, yeah,
he's still
B-list. He has all these new relationships.
This has been elevated him in everybody's eyes. Now DDG has become a household name.
Yeah.
And most young people, anybody younger than
Knows who they
35,
are, knows who he is.
Like before this whole situation, most people that were like his audience were like 18 and younger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There were, of course, they're probably like 25 at most.
Yeah.
Now you jumped at least 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
40, like at least 40-year-olds.
Yep.
Like
They know who he
40-year-olds
is.
know who he is now.
Yep.
Jay-Z, Beyonce know who you are.
He got all
So
these celebrities on his album: Shenseea, Wiz Khalifa, The Baby.
I would
He's
say
pulling
he's
A-list
probably
artists on his album now.
he's probably
He's not far from like he's doing the dance. He's upping his social status in real time, pretty rapidly.
where would you say that he stands in like biggest streamers?
Top 10,
Top 10? Yeah.
top 20. Because I think there's streamers that are really big that we're
doing. I mean, there's like what's his
don't really
what's
like
his name?
Jinxie and like
Yeah.
the dude from Canada that was beefing with Kai.
Yeah.
Like we don't really watch these
Ninja.
people. You know what I'm saying? So I would say top 20.
Well, most I guess when we're talking, more so talking about the black entertainment space.
Right. If we're saying the black entertainment space, then definitely top 10.
I would say damn near top 5.
Yeah. I mean, right now, yeah.
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
So,
but he just got there, like a month or two ago,
Yeah.
with the album, the whole album. In real
And
time.
Streamers University. He's one of the biggest at Streamers University.
Yeah.
But it's just unfortunate that people use children as a strategic move. It's always been marriage and children and all that stuff since the dawn of time have been contracts have been more so mergers of families to where it's a position of power. But now the only person that really suffers the most
Is the child.
Is the child.
Yep. Everybody lose when the family fuse. I like once you get the courts involved, I think it's usually downhill from
I
there.
think that it is usually downhill, but I think now we've been forced in such a corner that there's no way that you can't.
I don't think that's true.
It's not in your best. It's not in your best
I think it's
interest.
in everyone's best interest to avoid the courts.
I think
I think that.
that as soon
But it
as
takes
you,
adults who
they
can
know,
communicate.
They know,
all-
everybody.
also all it really
the
takes.
person that goes to the court first wins. So you're gonna try to avoid the court, but your opponent's not.
I don't think the person who goes first wins. I think the person with better evidence wins. Because, like, look, DG just got granted the restraining order he asked for.
Yeah, but he was trying to get his son from.
I think he probably will.
They're going.
Huh?
They're going.
No.
It got
I think they blocked
denied.
the travel.
No, they got denied.
That was a rumor. The lawyer, DG's lawyer came out and said that he got granted his request.
I just looked up the information this morning and said it got denied.
Oh, really? 'Cause I saw that come out, but then I saw it was dispelled.
The restraining order got passed through. The temporary restraining order. If I'm not.
But again, this is a very young child. Your very young children need their moms. Those first four years or so, like, it's very mother dependent, right? Like, she could still be breastfeeding, maybe not, but so it's not unusual for the courts to decide with her because of the age of the child. I don't think that she's gonna get full custody.
Does she have full custody now?
That was temporary until the.
Oh, temporary.
Yeah,
It's temporary full
it's
custody.
temporary.
I wasn't aware of that. But
Because she's going out of the country and all that stuff. Plus,
no, she was awarded full custody before then.
so that she could go out of the country with him.
Okay.
That was her request. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do think that documentation is the key to the game.
For sure.
Documentation, having
Cover your bases.
multiple parties involved to not so you can have witnesses. I think if you
He
can
has a lot of
have
those too, yeah.
if you can have like authoritative witness.
Oh, she was putting tracking devices all over him.
She was
We didn't
putting
even say
tracking
that.
devices. But if you need, if you could, the higher authority that you can get as a to testify on your behalf, to at least be able to know that this incident really happened. It's not something that was fabricated.
It's 850.
Yeah, I'm about to dip soon. It's not something that was fabricated. It's not something that was like you can't like. It's not just coming from me. It's not just coming from you saying that these events happen. You need to have somebody else, and that's why I would say have a court system or even police documentation is not the worst thing in the world.
Not at all. Yeah. Documentation is key.
So, thank you for watching another episode of The Morning Method. We will see you next Tuesday. Peace.
TM squared.